Hey everybody, thanks for having me here. I've got slides today, or I can just use YouTube for the whole session and do loads of demos, so your choice.
YouTube.
Yay! Okay. So I'm going to just show a bunch of videos now, right? I'll sit down. No, I'm only joking. So yeah, my name's Fintan Gillespie. I've been working in Google for the last 4 years. As you may or may not be aware, most Googlers have a 20% project. And although I work with some of our largest advertisers, I also have a 20% role leading YouTube for Nonprofits in the UK, which is a program which enhances your channel on YouTube if you're a nonprofit. And I'm going to talk you through all the ins and outs and the various features. I'm also going to talk today, obviously, about live streaming. I'll attempt to do a live stream both on YouTube and on Google Plus Hangouts. Just to show you how easy it is, just using my webcam here. And then we'll talk a little bit about the growth of YouTube and some examples throughout about how non-profit sector in particular have used the platform to their advantage. Cool, so before I start, I've got a few numbers to throw at you. So if we're thinking about YouTube, what do you think 4 billion represents? It's not Gangnam Style. It's 1 billion. Yes, well done. Yeah, so 4 billion views are watched, or 4 million video views happen every day on YouTube. That's about a 30% increase in the last 6 months. So YouTube is still exploding as a platform. It's actually phenomenal to believe the amount of content that's being uploaded all the time. So if I talk about 800 million, what do you reckon that is? This is a bit more difficult. No? Any other ideas?
Number of accounts?
Yeah, you're close. We'll probably take that. So that's the number of unique visitors worldwide each month. So that's 39 countries, 53 languages. About a ninth of the people on the planet are on YouTube. So what percentage of YouTube views do you think are from mobile devices?
50%.
Sorry? Ooh. Well, maybe in these markets, but globally, 25%. So a quarter of all views on YouTube are from mobile devices. So that's quite an important thing to bear in mind, and we've just done a huge UI redesign of the YouTube platform to accommodate these changes. We're also about to launch, and I can show you some previews of a new version of the YouTube channel that has adaptive design that can scale to either a mobile or tablet device or a smart TV. I don't know if you saw the announcement this week. We've just announced a partnership with FreeSat. So if you have those FreeSat boxes at home, you can now access all of YouTube from your FreeSat box. So that's a big change for us in the UK. Okay, let's have a look now. 100 million, what do you reckon that represents? You're probably about right. I mean, the combined view count of cat videos. You know, I love cats. I'm going to show you a cat video, so I have no qualms about the fact that YouTube is a great hub for cat lovers. 100 million is the number of social actions each week on YouTube. I think that's a really important stat because many people consider YouTube as just a hosting platform for their videos, a public hosting platform that's free. What you need to look into and examine and adopt your strategies for is YouTube is a social platform. There are 100 million social interactions happening within the platform in terms of comments, likes, shares, that are really, really important. The people on the content side, so the creators who are the most successful, are the people that drive subscriptions to their channel. I'm going to show you why that's important in a minute, especially within the new user interface for YouTube. But just a bit more depth on social is such a buzzword at the moment. So 500 years worth of video are watched on Facebook every day from YouTube embeds. So it's a huge amount. So if you're not sharing your YouTube videos across your platforms, Twitter, Facebook, or your blogs, then you're not, getting the true value of YouTube. And about 700 tweets per minute contain a YouTube video as well. So they're quite big stats. But YouTube now is a global audience, as I've just shared. So let me just give you a quick look at YouTube overall and how the platform looks. I don't know how often some of you guys log on, But this is the new user interface, which we've changed a lot. We've made the screen a lot wider, but most importantly on the left hand side we have a navigation bar which contains all the channels you subscribe to and little numbers beside them to tell you if there's been an update or not. We've also added in a lot of blending with Google+. So if I click on social, it'll show me, right, there's no recent activity. Probably just looked at it quite recently. It will show me the stream of any YouTube shares on Google Plus as well from my followers. Now that we have a single Google account login on Google, there's a big change we made last year whereby if you have a Google account, it would be a single account across all our different products. If you think about Google as a whole, we've grown organically and have all these different products. And we've never had something which connects all the products together until we launched Google Plus. I think a lot of the criticism of Google Plus as a social platform is that people see it as a destination. We see it as a social layer that connects all of our products. And you'll see much more enhancements to all of those products socially as we move on. It's a big focus for us. But bearing in mind now that everything's connected, another feature that we've done is the recommended channels on the right hand side, which actually pulls in your search data. So if you're searching particular things on Google, I was searching for the Six Nations, it's sharing suggested channels about rugby. I've just started doing CrossFit and found a Top Gear, so it's pulling in information from my search as well. So ultimately, when you log on to the homepage of YouTube, you're met with a lot more rich content. The focus is on subscribing. At the click of a button, you can subscribe to any of these channels. And also the stream is really important. If you think about it from a channel perspective, if I subscribe to a channel, I can set up an email alert anytime a video is uploaded, or anytime I log back onto a YouTube homepage, there's the new updates, which I think is really, really important. So social's really important. Okay, cool. So let me start showing you some videos. Does anyone know this video? It's a really boring video. It's only 19 seconds.
Alright, so here we are on the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have just really, really, really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
No one ever seen that video? Okay, why do you think that's significant, that video? Woo! Going on to the next one. I could just show a whole series of videos. In fact, the playlist I've created is 1 hour and 36 minutes, which I'm not going to do. But that previous video is the first ever video to be uploaded on YouTube. It was uploaded in April 2005 by one of the YouTube original team members. So it's quite significant to think that 2005 was the first YouTube video. We've only just had our 7th or 8th anniversary. So the growth is absolutely incredible, and a lot of people refer to this digital age that we now live in. There's a brilliant article on Wired at the moment for any of you guys that read Wired. It's in the print edition, it's now gone online. It's a big long article about how new superstars are being born in Britain from the YouTube platform. So to get a kind of a feel for what the platform is doing, how it's made stars, how there's now talent agencies that are going to scout the YouTube platform for up and coming people and signing them early. There's a girl called Michelle Phan in the US. She's now the face of L'Oreal in the US. So these guys are video blogging for the most part. Some of them do unique things. My personal favourite is the slow-mo guys. I don't know if any of you guys know them. You should check them out. They basically bought a Fintan cam, the one that shoots 2,000 frames a second. And they go out in their back garden and just blow stuff up and chuck stuff on the ground and just film it in 2,000 frames a second. It's just hilarious, but you just get hooked on it because I think that they're a massive water balloon. It's brilliant when you're watching it in 2,000 frames a second. But they've now done filming on the last Harry Potter film. So they're getting contracts into Hollywood just as a result of the niche that they're in. So that's a really good article. I'll tweet it afterwards. So going back to the playlist, I have a playlist created as well. I've also tweeted that with the hashtag. So it's a public playlist, so you can just look through all the videos I've referenced. This is a quick video which just shows the growth of YouTube. I'll show it to you very quickly.
When we first started, it was just trying to share these clips with one another. We saw the power of simplifying a process and giving everyone a solution.
YouTube, we
just want to say thank you. Today we have some exciting news for you. We've been acquired by Google.
Hello?
Johnny, that really hurt.
I'm Claire. I'm 91 years old.
This is the CNN YouTube debate.
Yes, we can!
One of the features of growing old is heightened awareness of change.
Is this real life?
Oh my God, you're walking.
We keep doing it.
Just being busy radio.
People who are taking these pictures are literally risking their lives to do what they're doing, and YouTube gives them a venue.
That's like a whistle-stop tour of everything YouTube. You probably recognise a lot of the videos. Coney was mentioned there. I think it's quite an interesting video. 30 million views. This is Mario the cat. Sorry, it's skipped on again. Has anyone seen this video? I have to show my cat video. Sorry, I just have to show it. I'll fast forward it. It's just a cat jumping in the bottom. You have to see him jumping out of the bottom. He's the laziest cat as well, but he's just hilarious. I can show you something. So yeah, that's Maru, and he's I think got about let's just have a look. That video alone has 8 million views. I think his channel has about 200 million views. He's now doing like Uniqlo, you know, the Japanese high street retailer. They actually use him for a competition now where you could log on live and whatever box Mario chose, you'd win a prize. So brands are attaching themselves to these creators, and these people are making fortunes from YouTube. Actually, if you do a search, if you're interested in this stuff, it's YouTube revenue stats. I think Social Blade. There's one called something Sheep, Stat Sheep, I think it is. Yeah. So Stat Sheep's cool because it actually tells you all the channel stats, how much they will make from advertising revenue. I mean, if you're interested in that, you can put in any channel name and it kind of gives you an indication of the kind of revenue they're making just from the ads that they place on their channels. So the way we work with original content uploaders is we look for any channels that have grown their subscriptions substantially. We'll sign them on a partnership deal where we give them a percentage of the ad income. So anytime you see those ads, they're getting a cut. And now we're moving into even more premium content where the likes of the big movie studios now are kind of coming on board with us. We've got Jamie Oliver signed up in the UK. He's done a 6-month sponsorship with Ocado, where Ocado show ads on every single piece of content he puts up. He already has 30 million views on the channel. So YouTube is becoming more mainstream. We're seeing we're still seeing the same amount of the funny cat videos and Fintan the dog and all this sort of stuff. They all still exist and they always will because it's the perfect public platform to post these sorts of videos. But what we're seeing an emergence of now is more mainstream tentpole programming appearing. So Jamie Oliver has a schedule which he communicates via all the social platforms upon when his next live stream is coming. He then records all his live streams, put the shows online. He has tidbits, he has behind the scenes. Everything he's doing is complimentary The great thing about YouTube is you can interact, so even if it's a live stream, you can add comments, you can talk to other people. If your comment's liked, your comment goes up the top. So it's very different to TV and the offline world in that it's interactive, and that's the beauty of it. Let me just see what other videos I have here before I go mad. Let me go down to have a look at my playlist. Yeah, okay, so just to give you an idea of some successes closer to home, so I don't know if you guys have seen this. So that was an video with Jamal. For any of you who don't know Jamal Edwards, and again he's mentioned in the Wired article, he was a young urban kid in London whose camera that he was given as a birthday present gave him a voice. He started interviewing some of his friends who were doing just hip hop locally, who weren't getting any record label deals, weren't getting exposure, and built up an audience, interacted with all the other people who were uploading similar content on YouTube. Built a subscriber base, and he's grown organically. He now has gone the opposite way from what you think. He's gone from YouTube and signed TV contracts. SBTV is on Sky now, you can watch it. He's got multiple channels around music, food, culture, comedy, everything. He found Ed Sheeran. So these are the sorts of people I think are really fascinating on the platform. And there's more of them. There's another girl called Foxy Locks. All she does is does hairstyles. There's, you think that's mad, but anyone who's in the hair care business who has multiple millions in advertising or marketing budget to spend, she's very attractive to them. So stars are being born, and we're seeing the tentpole advertising that I mentioned as well. We're seeing, the great thing about YouTube channels is that they're a mix of brands, of people who just upload funny videos, of charities, of non-profits, and that's the kind of sector I represent, is the non-profit sector. So I can show you a million videos, and you've probably seen some more of these. I mean, the H+ one is very interesting. This is Warner over in the States that have built a series. They've forgotten about HBO and everyone else. They've built a series that lives exclusively on YouTube. It's a sci-fi series called H+. Bestival's a very good example as well. So again, a bit closer to home. We signed a deal with them to basically film all their content in the festival. We didn't go quite as in depth as what you did in York, so we just had the choice of stages. But we'll talk a little bit about Hangouts a bit later, and I'll show you how that could work in terms of interactive video. Felix Baumgartner, I'm sure you've all seen The Jump. The quote that I like is from the guy who presents Dragon's Den, who tweeted, "This has to be the best moment in TV history." Oh, wait a minute, this is not TV. So it's kind of, he's symbolising what's changing in this digital world we now live in. And Psy, Gangman Style, I mean, it's just, we've added a little dancer, as you can see, to the ticker, just because he's now topped 1 billion views, so it's the most watched video on YouTube. And it's quite an incredible story. Where he's come from, having struggled as an artist in Korea, to now having this global audience signed in the same label as Justin Bieber is pretty fascinating. So anyway, that's the growth of YouTube. Moving on to YouTube for non-profits. So how many of you guys are non-profits? Just a show of hands. Okay, that's great, cool. How many of you have signed up for YouTube for non-profits? I always get the same reaction. Okay, well you should go sign up. Let me see where it is now. So if you type in YouTube non-profits on Google, you'll get to this page. What we ask you to do is just apply. So we have we basically just check that you're actually a registered charity, that you are who you say you are, that you have a genuine channel. Some of the things just to bear in mind, if you haven't set up a YouTube channel yet, make sure you guard the username and password with your life. I've come across so many instances where someone in the charity has set up the YouTube channel and left and moved on, and the password's been lost or the account's been turned off, and it's very, very hard to redeem the account once it's been turned off. So the other thing is the naming of the account. So you can go in and you can choose a name, but just be very careful about how you choose it, because it's very difficult to change it afterwards. So you can apply. When you apply, you have to have your YouTube channel ready, so you have to have created a YouTube channel first. And the sign up process is pretty straightforward. What you get from YouTube for non-profits are an amazing set of features that our brand advertisers will pay in the UK about 40,000 over 90 days just to get access to. So I'm going to walk you through some of the features, but just in summary, we have a donation button. So on any watch page on YouTube or on your channel, you can have a Google Wallet enabled donation button, and anyone that's signed up to Google Wallet can actually donate on the page. We have call to action. So again, if you're trying to sell tickets, you can put up links on your videos that will direct people off to your ticket sale page. We have a community forum where if you have any questions about the technicalities of any of the features of channels, we have full-time Googlers working on the forum. There's a link to it here. We also, and most importantly, allow live streaming for non-profits. Live streaming is very, very difficult for brands to access, and even our partners have to get to a certain level in terms of subscribers and views before we give them access to live streaming. You guys as non-profits, once you get signed up for this, have the ability to live stream straight away. A video to annotations, which I'll walk you through. So let me just give you a kind of a flavour for all these kind of different features. I'll go in here. Cool. Okay, so let's start with video overlays. So this is the first feature. This is cancer research. This is a really cool video they've done about, they're lobbying the government to have plain cigarette packets, because the kids at the interview here love all the colourings on cigarette packets, and the argument is they shouldn't have any colouring at all. They should be as bland as possible. So that's the video. But what you see there, and it's just disappeared, is an in-video overlay. So you can go into YouTube in your video settings, and you can add a link to any page on your site to encourage people to actually sign up or do whatever your desired outcome is, or desired interaction. So that's one. The next one is, this is the Hunger Games teamed up with the World Food Programme, but I'm going to show you at the end what they've actually done in terms of video editing. So the other feature we have is called external annotations. If I hover over them, you can kind of see them. All they are is you can just, in your editing suites and video, Final Cut or whatever, you can add this font in, and then when you upload it to YouTube, you can go in and edit and highlight areas and then link those externally. Again, our brand advertisers pay about 25,000 to 40,000 to link to an external site. With any other YouTube channel that's not a non-profit channel, we only allow them to link to other YouTube videos. So that's a feature that, if you've taken the time to edit, you can take advantage of by making these buttons clickable. Again, I thought this was a brilliant ad. Has anyone seen this? I'll show it to you. I think it's great. Very, very
My name is Vinnie Jones, and I'm going to teach you a lesson you'll never forget. There are times in life when being tough comes in handy. Say some geezer collapses in front of you. What do? We need a volunteer that ain't breathing. Here's one I made earlier. First thing you do is you check him over. If he ain't responsive or he ain't breathing, or he's making noises like this, then his heart will stop working, he's having a cardiac arrest. Look lively. First call 999, then you do hands-only CPR, and no kissing. You only kiss your missus on the lips. Watch. Lock your fingers together, knuckles up, then push down, right on the sovereign.
So it's quite a simple video, but what they've done here is linked as well. If you click on that button, it opens a tweet with the hashtag ready. So they got hundreds of thousands of interactions just from that, adding that link. So if you've got a particular campaign objective, you want to be integrated with your other social channels, it's very simple to add these things in. You just type them onto wherever time in the video you want, and it works. So that's a really useful feature. The other thing I like about what the British Heart Foundation did, like that video got, I think it was 7 million views. They've made new ones with Vinnie Jones's kids, so they've started to make a whole series of them because people subscribe because they loved the first video. These follow-on videos are becoming even more viral. So that's what I encourage you to think about when you're thinking about something that has been successful, how you can add on to it. And what they've done cleverly, another feature of the non-profit channel, is you can add all the related videos here at the end. So when someone's finished watching, you can keep them engaged by giving them more choice. So I quite like that about the British Heart Foundation. This is a relatively new feature. So this is a feature we've launched as a pilot to non-profits. It's called Campaigns. And as you can see, it's another box that pops up. You can set a goal as a non-profit for the number of views you want to get. And then we'll create these widgets that allow users to go and share these videos wherever they like to try and push the campaign objectives for the non-profit. So it's very early stage, but it's been very successful for the charities that are testing it. So that's a new feature. You should definitely check that out as well. Not sure what this one is. I'm not sure what this one is. Oh yeah, this is captions. So people asked about captions, I think, in the doc that Sian sent me. So it's very easy to set up captions. You can upload the transcripts with the timestamp transcripts, and we allow then captions in any language of your choosing. So for people with disabilities, you can still allow them to consume the content in whatever way they like. So they're the main features of non-profits channels, or of the video features that you can actually add in. Another thing I just wanted to show you was the actual channels themselves. I've made a big list of them here, but let me just show you Oxfam, which is one of my favourites. So on the channel itself, you have the ability, once you have an upgraded channel on YouTube, to actually add a header in on top, which is quite a nice feature. You can also hyperlink links to your other social media channels down here, as Oxfam have done quite nicely. The other thing you can see here, this is the donation button, so you can choose what increments you want to start your donations at, and once you're logged in with a Google account, you can just press donate, and you can give directly to Oxfam right from the channel. So it reduces the friction between Oxfam and you wanting to donate, which I thought was quite nice. What they also do is anytime they have a new campaign, they brand up the YouTube channel in the same way as the website's been branded up. So if I go to their Facebook page, the exact same kind of green background, it's all themed up and integrated quite nicely, which I like as a feature as well. In terms of tips for creating and uploading videos on YouTube, what I've seen that I think are really interesting from charities are I think doing things like giving smartphones to people on the field in Africa and letting them have the power to upload stuff as it happens. So Oxfam did a lot of this in Sudan. They also had a very interesting video in Haiti where literally as the disaster happened, they were up, their heads of disaster relief were writing or were recording video blogs and putting them straight up onto the platform. The one in particular that Oxfam did for Haiti got about 1.6 million views. They were on the ground before the news people got there. So I think certainly equipping your teams with mobile phones or giving them just the ability to upload what they like. You can upload anything into YouTube as private, and then you could have someone centrally to edit as they like. So that's the power of giving people the ability to upload to your channel as well. So they're kind of like the features of YouTube for non-profit. So definitely set up or apply for YouTube for non-profit channel, and then we can whitelist you. I'm going to show you just, we'll try a live stream here. So when you go into your settings in in YouTube for Nonprofits, I'll show you. If I go into my channel, let me see here. Actually, I'm not going to go back. So basically, you have you have to sign terms and conditions to sign up for live streaming. You click accept, and then you can actually set live events. So I can click new live event. Oh, great. It might take a while to go through. I think there's an application process, so okay, it's not going to be able to happen today. But it's pretty straightforward. Once your approval goes through, you're able to do live streaming. You can set up events. We have documentation on, where's it going? Which I can send around all about how to. So you had a lot of questions earlier about encoding. We allow all of that functionality. We allow you to plug in different devices as you're live streaming, control different views or whatever you want to do. So that's, you have the ability to do all of that in live. You can also, users can set up notifications if there's a live event. So if any of the channels you subscribe to as a live event, you'll actually see a notification at the very top of YouTube saying that this is actually happening. What the great thing about YouTube as well is it's embeddable. So if you have a live event, you can embed it anywhere. It's a YouTube video, so the same embedding rules apply. So feel free to just embed wherever you like if you decide to live stream on YouTube. So moving on to Google+. And I think that's quite important as well. I'm going to show you one video on Google Plus because I think it's a lovely, it gives you a real flavour for the sense of community that's already there on Google Plus in certain niche audiences. I mean, a show of hands for if you're on Google Plus right now. And we openly admit that we're not there yet. It took Facebook many years to get to a critical mass. But what I think of Google Plus is, as I said, is that layer. But that said, one of the features of Google Plus is the ability to do these hangouts. Hangout is a 10-person conversation. So you can interact with people in many different ways. You can access it from your mobile phone. You can join. I mean, I've done it. My grandmother's very sick in hospital. We were able to do a hangout from her hospital bed, connecting to the hospital Wi-Fi, and she was able to talk to her whole family. It was amazing. But there's lots of other examples. I'm going to show you one of how hangouts have been have just changed people's lives. It's quite fascinating. So let me just show you this.
Freedom for me has always just been going for a walk in the woods, finding the perfect light, and getting the shot. I think I started when I was 12 years old, putting that canoe on my shoulders, carrying it down to the lake, and going for a paddle. John Butterell, as a young photographer, his epic canoe trip, 1969. That was a long time ago. One day, I was out taking pictures, and I thought, how cool would it be to attach a phone to your camera and hang out with 5-10 people, and they would see exactly what I was seeing through the viewfinder of my camera. It was pretty amazing. And the next day, Corey Fisk came into the hangout.
I love photography, and I have been living with MS 10 years, and this is my world. There's nothing more to my world than that.
I just said, tomorrow, I'll take you for a walk. I'm going to walk closer to that oak tree over there.
Down a little,
okay.
A little more, right there. Lovely.
Look up, look way up.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm not for that one.
Got it. For a few brief minutes, she wasn't going to be in that bed. She was going to experience her own momentary escape. She was on a virtual photo walk. And we didn't even know what one was then, but we were sure doing it. The next day, we posted the video. People saw it and started sharing it, and photographers all over the world jumped on board.
So we're bringing lots of people around and giving them Hawaii view here.
Oh, yes, yes.
Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
We have beautiful Cape Cod, a couple of buffalo.
This is Utah Lake.
I'll be emailing you photos soon.
I never anticipated that so many photographers would give their time and feel so committed. As a photographer, you're in a special place taking pictures, and now people are with you, and for that brief time, you're giving them a little bit of freedom.
I'm just going to sneak around here.
It's a very rewarding thing.
Can you guys see what I'm seeing at the moment?
So that's photo walks on Google Plus and how they've kind of changed people's lives and allowed people to kind of, you know, still experience what they used to experience. So I think that's an amazing kind of overview of the community that exists on Google Plus for photographers. So Google Plus is, as I said, a social platform that we launched. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what it looks like. Let me see now. Cool. So this is Google Plus. Obviously, I use it loads, and I'm very lucky because all Googlers use it. So I already have a kind of a social graph of sorts. But as I said, it's very powerful for photos. What we have here, you know, it's very rich photos. You can connect your phone to it. It instantly uploads every photo that you've taken on your phone. We also have launched communities, which I think are quite cool. So I'm a surfer and bodyboarder. I've launched a bodyboarding community. Loads of people just update for like brilliant videos of surfing and bodyboarding, and we can all interact. It's a community for people who wouldn't have been connected otherwise. It gives them a platform to go and connect, and we have loads of different communities. Communities are free to set up. All you have to do is have an account and set it up and invite people in. I have one just about Ireland, from Ireland, but it's all just amazing photographs from Ireland, videos from Ireland that are shared, and we all interact, and we tell people to go out and take photos of the Northern Lights and come back to us. So it's quite cool. And the other thing about communities is that you have the ability to do these hangouts within a community. So I can click start a hangout, and then everyone who's part of that community is invited in, and we can have a discussion about whatever the theme of the community is. For you guys who work in the arts, there's communities already existing about, you know, about theatre, about drawing. There's people on these live hangouts who actually are doing, you know, drawing classes on hangouts. There's people who are doing cook-alongs. Photo walks is the one I mentioned. So that, you know, there's so much scope to have that interactivity in a live environment and video. And our charities have used it. They've sent, you know, celebrities or their leaders out in the ground. They've done interviews with people who are suffering in these parts. There's a US charity that's equipped basically their chuggers on the street with cameras. So rather than just nagging you, they can actually give you the vision of what's going on in a live environment, which is incredible. So Google Plus is really about connecting these communities that wouldn't have been connected otherwise. As I said, you know, moving back to live streaming, once you have a Google account, you can set up a page like you would on Facebook for your company. So I'd encourage you to do that, not just for the features of Google Hangouts, but if I do a search for, let me just see now if I can get it up. Okay, I can't get it there. Let me see. Try one more. Okay, it's not going to show me because I'm logged into the wrong account. Let's try this one. Okay, it's not being nice to me. But you usually get a big one box on the side, so it helps your search presence as well. If you're posting regularly on Google Plus, you'll get a little one box up here, so actually, you know, encourages people to sign up for what you're doing. And in terms of Hangouts, so Hangouts is a 10-person conversation. You can, once you set up that page, you can hang out publicly. You can live stream your Hangout just within the Google Plus platform to people you invite. So we do in Google about 10,000 Hangouts a day. So I go and have meetings with people in Dublin over VC or London or whatever office they may be in. I could have done this presentation from my desk easily, because with Hangouts, once you're in that 10-way platform, you can actually share YouTube videos. You can share your screen, so it's brilliant for doing presentations. So let me just give you a quick look of what a Hangout is for those of you who don't know. For those of you who know Skype, you'll know what video chat is like. So this is a Hangout. I can just like name it whatever I want. Fintan, fun. Now, at the tick of a box here, I can enable Hangouts on air. And what that means, again, it's the beginning of our integrations between Google Plus and YouTube in particular. If I tick that box, because my account is linked to YouTube, when I tick that box and click Hangout, it'll also live stream to YouTube at the same time. So you can have that 10-way conversation at the click of a button, and it's live streaming straight away. So we've done many of these Hangouts. Again, if you look at the YouTube playlist I've shared on Twitter, you'll be able to access some of the Hangouts. But we've done versus debates, so we have big debates around bullying, around racism, that we've held in big, like in Barbican. where we have people moderating, we have a whole production team coming in and controlling the Hangout and all the interactions, down to just, you know, people like as I said, like Oxfam, who just have people on the ground on a mobile phone just talking to people. So it's very simple to do. I'll just see now if I can get anyone in to hang out with me. I'll try Adriana. This is terrible, always terrible, because most people are never willing to hang out with you, but we'll give it a go. So yeah, you can just wait for people to hang out. Now I didn't choose to share that on YouTube, but if I did choose to share it on YouTube, the whole thing would be recorded on YouTube and sit in a private environment, and then you can either edit it or cut it down, and then you can choose to just put it public and show it to the world. Lots of people do that, but many people just choose to have an edit. I think the thing about YouTube is that the average video is about 3.8 minutes long. I think that was referenced about, you know, how do you get people to watch a show that's 3 hours long. And on YouTube you'll see lots of shows are split into parts, or else they'll just take the highlights out. So definitely think about highlight videos when you're thinking about production on YouTube. So this Hangout, and it's looking pretty solemn right now, but can host up to 10 people. As I said, I can screen share. You can also build apps on top of this. So you can do you could have like a competition widget, or you could have a comment box. The one I love is this app called Draw With Your Face. So you can actually like get your face down and like draw stuff with your face amongst your friends. Another one I love is A Story Before Bed, which was actually developed by a guy over in the States who lived away from his family. And you can basically get onto the video conference with your kid and read them their bedtime story. So that was quite nice as well. But there's hundreds of these apps being built on top of the Hangout platform. There's another one for anyone who plays poker, where, you know, historically if you played online poker, you know, in an offline world or, you know, a normal world, we're used to reading people when you're playing poker, so you can tell if someone's bluffing just by the way they've twitched their eyes, and that's been difficult to do with online poker. And as I think it's called Poker Hangout. If you search Poker Hangout in Google, you'll find it. And this is a company that's just built on top of this and introduced the kind of real video conferencing element to poker. And other companies have built businesses on it. So there's one called Chef Hangout, which you pay $25 in the US, and you can sign up for a one-to-one hangout with a qualified chef. So that's Hangouts. I'm hanging out now. Nobody loves me, but yeah, that's Hangouts in a nutshell. So again, with both platforms as a non-profit, you have the ability to live stream right here and now. I love the last presentation because you're talking about using different angles, and that's something that we ultimately want to get to. I'm going to leave you one video just to show you what we've actually done, albeit very scrappy. This Hangout platform's less than a year old. So we've just been messing around with it, and one of the ways we tried to evangelize it was at a developer conference we ran in the States quite recently, and I'm just going to show you a video from that. Let's see where it is. Okay, let's see, search for it. So again, think about the idea of being able to choose your screen and interact with whatever screen you like. You can do this on Hangout. You just click on the screen that you want to see.
Steve, thanks.
Great, we have an ad. Let this ad play through and then I'll show you. We've also launched skippable ads, so I don't know why this one's not a skippable ad, but about 65% of the ads on YouTube are now skippable, so if you don't like them, you can skip. It's great for the advertiser because they only have to pay when someone actually is engaged with the content. But this one isn't. We're trying to move away from it. Cool, so have a look.
We've got something pretty special for you. It's a little bit time sensitive, so I apologize for interrupting. You've seen some really compelling demos here. They were slick, they were robust. This is going to be nothing like that. This can go wrong in about 500 different ways. So tell me now, who wants to see a demo of glass? So the unit I actually really want to show you, I lent to a friend, and he's going to be here momentarily. He's actually pretty close by. He's just about a mile overhead right now with his buddies. Hey, we're just down here in Moscone. I got a few thousand people here. I was hoping to maybe get that unit I let you down here, and I thought maybe you guys could show us a fun time on the way down.
Yeah, you can hear me down there. I've been listening to your speech through the Hangout. It's pretty cool.
All right, this is the Hangout from glass.
So you can see all the people's different perspectives as they're about to skydive. And I'll just fast forward a little bit.
All right. Gotta get to the right place so they can hit the roof. So I'm going to take a few pictures to record this from posterity.
There you go. So it's amazing from the user perspective. That's been publicly shown. You can click on the different elements and get whatever view you like. So we're trying to get to where you've already gotten, but you have the ability essentially now to do it. It's pretty cool. So these guys skydive down and then they literally pass the thing to, as you'll see now. Let me just fast forward. So they give it out to a BMXer, as you can see here. This guy runs down a wall, and then like...
Don't try this at home, kids. These are trained professionals.
He abs this down a wall, then gives it to a guy on a bike, and then the guy cycles into the centre, and there they're on stage. So again, pretty kind of early doors with this kind of technology, but you can kind of see the kind of things you could do in a theatre environment. You could have different cameras in different angles and allow the user to engage in different ways. But that's what we did, just to kind of play around with it. I imagine there'll be a lot more to come.
Please stay in your seats, folks. Don't get into the aisles. Please keep the aisles clear. Yeah. Here they come up.
So there you go. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you didn't mind my mashup of videos. I hope you found it useful. I hope I managed to demo both YouTube for Nonprofits, Google Plus Hangouts, and the YouTube for Nonprofits program. I'll finally leave you on this, which we've just launched, which is a new program we've just launched called Grow Your Charity Online. It's a big hub of information for all the resources we give to charities to help them grow with Google Online. You can sign up for this as well, and we're going to be doing one-to-one sessions in our Google London office over the next year. We're doing it in association with the Media Trust, so check that one out as well. And thank you very much. I'll take questions now. Yeah.
Just to be clear about the Hangouts, that's not exclusively for non-profits.
Yeah, so anyone can do a Hangout. Yeah, and as long as you connect your page on Google Plus to your channel on YouTube, you can live stream it as well. We will take down live streams if they're like streaming copyrighted content. That's the only exception that we'll make. But yeah, you're free to do as well.
I work for a number of different charities. Would they all need to be handled separately with their own charity account? Is that right, or is there one way to consolidate it all?
So it depends. So again, some charities have created separate channels because different teams have like not synced up. The ideal way is that if you have one organisation, you have one channel. That's the ideal way. I mean, I've seen exceptions. People like, they have an annual festival and they're updating with the name of the year for every different channel. I don't think that's the right approach. As I said, it's YouTube. Think about it as a subscriber model that you have to kind of. So like you aspire to get likes on or followers on Facebook and Twitter, try get subscribers with YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can circulate. I mean, universities have used it a lot. So we have a separate program called YouTube EDU, where we sign up universities. So all the Ivy League schools in the US, Oxford and Cambridge or what else, they live stream a lot of their talks, even rugby matches or sporting events. So they literally have a team now set up which goes around and just films life around the college. Yeah.
Are there much schools doing access on Hangouts?
It's so new, so I mean there's a few things I've heard of. So Plan B is like this big kind of pop artist, and he's kind of from an urban, like a working class urban background in London. He's setting up a charity to basically give free cameras to kids in kind of underprivileged areas to allow them to have a voice, just like what Jamal did. So again, Hangouts is very, very new, but we're seeing a few things being experimented with. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, guys.